I'm Hira Ismail, writer for MuslimGirl. I'm sharing today a speech I wrote in high school about 8 years ago now, and it was for Academic Decathlon. I was really inspired by Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, and I wanted to write about eradicating anti-Muslim sentiment because it has real consequences on our community. And I've reworked it slightly, but it holds the same idealistic sentiment of my teenage self. So here's to a high school girl's dreams for the future, and I'll let you decide how far we've come to actualizing them. The wind wrapped itself around the gleaming white marble of the Lincoln Memorial. The crowd held its breath collectively as a man stepped up to a podium, his black robes fluttering in the wind. He braced himself against the wind's embrace, cleared his throat, and began. I have a dream. Martin Luther King Jr.'s iconic speech stormed the hearts of millions. Though we have made some progress, we have a long way to go to bring together the little black boys and girls and little white boys and girls as sisters and brothers. And society has chosen even more victims. People like me. September 11th, 2001. Changed us. We think of turbans, of eyes crinkled with anger, of lengthy beards, of mouths foaming with spittle, forming the words jihad. Problematic labels causing problematic actions. Examples? Tempe, Arizona's Islamic Community Center, a mosque intended for worship. Mosaics cascade over its walls. Arabic calligraphy splashes over its doorways, and its golden domes wink in the sunlight, dazzling all who pass. Vandalized. The mosaics drooped at the graffiti on their walls. The domes, they lost their twinkle. All I can ask is, what did the Muslims of Tempe, Arizona have to do with the attacks 2,500 miles away? Why were they afraid to venture away from their homes and attend services? So many mosques, so many stories. Threatening phone calls, broken glass, dead pigs thrown at masjid doorways, shots fired, arson attacks, inviting doors left changed forever. And the list, it goes on and on. And we were affected elsewhere as well. Suddenly, women who wore the hijab became the nefarious minions of the 6 million Muslims, or might I say terrorists, living in the United States. That's what the newspapers claimed. Once that scarf is wrapped around your head, all hopes of being normal, of blending in, are gone. Many women chose to take it off in fear. I, after 2 years of calculated decision, began wearing the scarf in 2006. In author Randa Abdel Fattah's words, I am a UCO, an unidentified covered object. I walk into a room and heads turn, especially when I'm on an airplane. I look into one aisle, citing fearful eyes. So I try to see matters from their perspective. I realize that every stitched, sequined, and colored design on my scarf must scream terrorist or radical fundamentalist in their minds. So I try to smile, try to convey the opposite. Anonymity has tucked its tail between its legs and flashed away. I look into the other aisle, citing pitying eyes. The embroidery on my scarf now screams, poor, deprived girl, perhaps vividly imagining vicious parents beating me into modesty. I try to smile again. I realize these thoughts are paranoid, but I can't help myself. Too many times have I had people ask me everything from if I was forced to wear the scarf to if I was bald underneath. Too many times have I had terrorists shouted at me. I wish people understood it for what it was meant to be, a crown of pride in my heritage, in my religion. It is 2009, and today I also have a dream. I'm inspired by Martin Luther King Jr., and if you listen closely, they're not that different. It is also deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day, not only this nation, but the whole world will rise up and transcend the differences between religion, the cores of which all say we are equal. I have a dream that one day, girls like me won't be judged by the color of their hijab, but by the content of their characters. Today, I also have a dream. I have a dream that one day, Muslims will be able to exclaim, Allahu Akbar, God is great, in a public place without making people turn pale. I have a dream that September 11th will become a day when Muslims aren't afraid of going to work or school and won't have to bow their heads in shame at the mention of a radical completely unrelated to them. I have a dream that the average Muslim won't be held accountable for the actions of a few. I have a dream that people will learn to rid their fear of Islam and Muslims. If America is to be a great nation, we cannot forget this generation of minorities. Now let freedom ring from the mosques of the United States. Now let freedom ring from every airport, from every street. Now let freedom ring from New York to California so that every covered head may take pride in her identity. When we allow freedom to ring, we will speed up that day when all of God's people, black men and white men, men with turbans, women with flowery scarves, and when Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, Muslims and all minorities will be able to join hands and sing with all their hearts. Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.